Do systems even matter? I mean, really, do you need to have systems in place in your business for it to run successfully? Now, that's the question that we get asked here all the time at Home Leads, and that's the question I want to go over here in this quick video. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so below. Hit that like button, share the video to all your buddies, as we'd greatly appreciate it. So when we're talking about systems, what are we talking about here? Systems, layout, procedures in your business. Okay, that sounds very fancy for basically saying, do you have a way of doing things from start to finish so that if you were not in your business, if you fell ill, if you got hurt, if you were, on vacation or something like that, do you have something in place right out of the chute so that somebody could immediately hop in and follow that system so that you would not have any issues with providing the service to your customers? So what do I mean? Well, do you have a system for checking voicemails? Do you have a system for returning text messages or any type of communication to customers? Do you have a system in place for doing your job? Okay, let's say you're a carpet cleaning business. Okay, so if you're a carpet cleaning business, do you have a system for how you pull the truck up to the customer's home or to their office? Do you have a system for how you get your machines out of the van or out of the truck in order to run the service? Do you have a system if you're a landscaper? Do you pull up? Do you have a route? And do you hit the certain houses at certain times of day on certain days of the week? Do you have a system set up for, do you cut the grass first? Do you do the edging? When do you do the blowing so the shavings are not in the street? These are basic systems that you want to make sure that are already set up in your business. If you don't have them set up, I would strongly suggest you immediately start getting a pen and paper, get your phone out, however you want to do it, and start laying these systems out. Another system that folks a lot of times overlook is if they are, do they have a system for marketing? Okay, how are you getting your leads? We talk to folks all the time who say, "Oh, well, I get my leads based on word of mouth, or I get my leads based on referrals." Well, that's great, and I would argue to say that that's one of the best ways to do things. However, to be fair, I would also argue and say that that is one of the worst ways to grow your business, because when you're doing that and you're not doing any marketing and you're just hoping for the referrals to come in, you're hoping that somebody will refer you to their buddy or to their associate or whatever, then all you're doing is you're running a business trying to grow it on hope. I don't think growing anything based 100% on hope and no system is a great way to have predictable leads come into your business. So again, what is your system for marketing? A lot of times when we work with folks, they're one-person operations, they're two-person operations, and they have no system for sales. How do you present your offering? How do you present your unique selling proposition to your customer? Again, going back to the carpet cleaning business, you clean carpets. Okay, so does 20 other companies in your town. What is your unique offer? What is your unique selling proposition? What system do you have in place in order to be able to say, all right, look, this is how we clean carpets. This is the type of chemicals that we use. These are the type of procedures we follow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it can be a unique selling proposition that's a system. Now, why am I harping on these systems? Well, first, if you don't have a system laid out, okay, then at that point in time, you have no way to be able to get out of the day-to-day tasks of your business, okay? Because if somebody comes in and they say, hey, Mark, I want to come in and I want to do the marketing for Home Leads or something, and I have no system set up, I can't hand them something to say, okay, marketing guru, go for it, and this is what I want to have set up. Or if somebody said, hey, Mark, I want to do some of the phone calls for you with new clients, I want to do that for you. Okay, well, if I want to unload that responsibility and I have no system, no procedure, anything, then basically they have no guidance, right? They have no way to do things. And what that does, without having a system set up for literally every step of your process, you're essentially chaining yourself to being forced to do every single job. Okay, so now not only are you the business owner, but you're also the truck driver, you're also the service delivery person, you're also the person making the sales, you're also the person trying to figure out Facebook ads or marketing or lead generation or whatever the story is. You're essentially chaining yourself to wearing a gazillion different hats. Now, we've all been in businesses, we're all in startup businesses and stuff like that, so we understand the importance of being able to kind of do just about everything. But at some point in time, you've got to have the thought process to get out of those, right? You've got to have the thought process to get out of the lower lying, the lower kind of labor type tasks, get out of those and get to where your abilities are really going to be the most benefit to your company. So when we're talking about systems here, how do you set up a system? Well, it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. As I mentioned earlier in the video, take an ink pen, take a piece of paper out, grab your phone, grab a Excel document, however you want to do it. Doesn't frankly matter. But you want to lay out exactly from A to Z the most detailed step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on for every single system. Okay, so this may sound like a lot of work, and it's not something to do in 5 minutes, I'll tell you that, but it's not terrible. Okay, so again, when we're going and using we're working with a lot of junk removal companies right now, okay, which is great. It's a great industry to be a part of. Okay, so if you're a junk removal business or any business, okay, walk through every single detail that you're going to go and do to do the actual job. Okay, so when do you show up to the customer's residence? Okay, where do you park? If you have a dump trailer on the back of your pickup truck, where are you parking that trailer at? Okay, because you're probably not, going to the grocery store with that thing. You're probably not, going on a date on Friday night with that thing. So where is that? Okay, when you go to pick up the trailer, how do you hook it up to your truck? How does the harness connect? Okay, then how do you drive it? Okay, do you drive, at the speed limit? Okay, when you pull up, how do you greet the customer? Where do you park your truck? Okay, then when you load your items in the in the dumpster, okay, are you going from biggest item to smallest item? Are you just going like a tsunami and you're just grabbing everything and tossing it in there? How are you doing it? Okay, then once you have your truck loaded up, how are you creating the invoice? Okay, how are you getting paid? All right, how do you collect payment? Okay, do you do transfers? Do you checks? Do you do cash? I mean, what do you do? Okay, what happens if they don't pay? What is your system for that? Okay, where does the money go? I presume it goes to your work account, but does it go to a checking or a savings account? How does that work? Okay, then when you have your truck, where you dump that at? I mean, you're probably going to dump it at a city dump or something like that, but which one do you go to? Okay, how do you pay that fee? Okay, so you start getting these ideas and you're like, Jiminy Christmas, Mark, like all this stuff I do on a daily basis, like I don't want to write it down. Here's why you do want to write it down, okay? Because you don't want to be doing every single job for the remainder of the life of your business. Unless you do, unless you want to be, pick an age, and doing that still every single step of the way. But if your skills lie in marketing and you're a junk hauling company, you need to get out of the actual service or the actual day-to-day of providing that service and get into marketing. If you're a labor person and you really, really enjoy doing the junk removal stuff, driving the truck, meeting the customers, loading the stuff up, if that's what you enjoy, that's fine. Hey, that's great. But then you've got to have a system set up for the person doing sales. You have to have a system set up for the person who's doing the marketing. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at this, always think about systems and laying out an A to Z process for every single thing that you do. By doing that, guys, taking the time to actually do it, it'll force you to think about, how do I do this? And 9 times out of 10, folks, it'll immediately make that job, that one system that you're building, the task, you'll actually make it better because you're thinking, why do I park there? Or gosh, why am I running 10 minutes late on all these things? Do I really want to show somebody who's working for me the system that says it's okay to show up 20 minutes late? Yeah, so it's going to start forcing you to think of those ways and think of those things that you're doing consciously or subconsciously so you can actually build out your system. Once you have the system laid out, then you will be able to hire it out when the time comes and just hand that person the document, email that person the item, send that person the text message and say, hey man, this is exactly how we're going to do it from A to Z. With systems, create additional time. With additional time, creates additional revenue. So I hope this has been very helpful to you. Thank you so much for taking a look at this video. We're Home Leads. My name is Mark, and thanks so much for watching this video. And as always, we'll see you all on the next one.